Hey everybody, it's Ian, the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. On my channel, I've wanted to feature some really amazing and fun artists, and we're continuing that series today. I'm very excited for you to finally meet the person behind the character. I'm very excited to introduce Kim onto my channel. However, you may know her, or should I say Mr. Bones, a little bit better. Hey Kim, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me today. And it's really good to see your face because we don't
Yes.
really get to see that too much on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your Instagram? And first of all, name your Instagram. And then second of all, tell us a little bit about your Instagram account.
Well, it's called Mr. Bones Sews, and it's about this tiny little skeleton. He's about 3 inches tall, and he assists me in any sewing project that I'm working on, especially very small ones. He's very good with that and pins. So I kind of started it as Instagram, and then I've gotten more into doing the videos and then into stop motion so that he's actually moving. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's always fun to see what adventures Mr. Bones has gotten himself into and all of that. But let's back up and let's talk about I don't think stop animation is your job. So what do you do outside of the Mr. Bones world?
I'm a graphic designer.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That tracks very well.
Yeah. I didn't actually go to school for graphic design. I've actually have more of a fashion background, so I've just kind of stumbled across graphic design lately. I've been working in the fashion industry for like about 16 years.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you stumbled your way in. Let me just back myself up a little bit here. How did you end up stumbling from, I see how they're semi-connected, but how did you end up stumbling from fashion design into graphic design?
Well, I just ended up working at a company that had to do with fashion, but they had an opening in graphic design, and I was just able to step into it, and it was just a little bit of a change because I'd been doing so much fashion and textiles and whatnot. It was kind of a welcome change. So yeah, it was nice.
Interesting. Okay. It's always fascinating finding out how people end up like switching roles or switching careers. And it's an interesting, fascinating road, how
Mhm.
everybody ends up where they are today. So you are a graphic designer that kind of tracks with Mr. Bones and everything that he does. How did you come up with the idea for Mr. Bones?
Well, I found him on Amazon like a really long time ago, like back in 2016 when he wasn't the price he is now on Amazon, which is like insane if you've looked him up. But yeah, I got him and he was just this fun little posable skeleton. And I've always liked little creepy things. Like it's Halloween at my house 24/7. We don't put the decorations away. So I just thought he was a perfect little addition. And he kind of started off sitting on my monitor at work. And my office is actually like right beside this window that leads into the hall. And so he has a little rocking chair. So I'd like put him on the ledge of the rocking chair. And it would be great because people would walk by and they just kind of notice him. Like you just see someone out of the corner eye all of a sudden stop and go, oh, and then start laughing because he's usually sitting in his chair doing something or he'd have his little hand up like he was waving. So that's kind of where it started.
Gosh, that's amazing. I love that so much. It's I am definitely a Halloween fan too. So I'm glad to hear that there are other people that are Halloween
Yeah.
365,
Yeah.
and it's always fun to meet other people who do that because I have a few things up around my house as well that are Halloween
Yeah.
all year round.
Mhm.
Now, does your family enjoy Mr. Bones? Do they kind of help feed ideas for him?
Yeah, my husband's really good with that. We're always kind of like brainstorming ideas, and he's where I get like a lot of props. Like he's like my prop department. Like any vehicle you ever see Mr. Bones in, it's usually either my daughter's or my husband's. It's just like I'm just gonna borrow this for a second. I need a new vehicle, or some kind of prop.
Yeah, definitely. We mentioned before we got started that you had kids, and I was wondering if they may have had a hand in
Mm.
some form for creation of videos and stuff. Speaking of which, how long does it take you to create those videos? Because some of my favorite movies, Kubo and the Two Strings, Coraline, anything from Leica Studios is amazing, but it literally takes them years to put together a feature length movie. So how long does it take whenever you're working on a project for an Instagram reel?
It really depends on if I'm making something at the same time. So like if I'm sewing something, I have to kind of like show the process of putting it together and sewing it with him. So that could take like a day or two. It just kind of depends on the project. Whereas other times I'm just kind of using like a voice to get him to lip sync it to. And it could take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to 2 hours. It just really depends.
It's a committed artwork is basically what you're saying.
Yes, it's definitely gotten faster now that I've kind of gotten used to it and kind of figured out some tricks. But yeah, it does take a while.
Do you record on your phone to do this, or do you record on a separate device and animate it in some software?
I just do it all on my phone. I did recently figure out though that one of my digital cameras actually has a stop motion function, which I'd like to like maybe try, because you just pretty much, I was like reading the instructions, you just take pictures and then you select all your pictures and just select stop motion. It just puts it together as a stop motion. So I'd like to play around with that because I feel like the quality would be a lot better. But yeah, mostly on my phone.
I don't know if the quality would be much better. I mean, like
No.
your phone is doing a great job. So
Sometimes it looks really blurry to me, and I don't know if it's just me, like because it'll look really sharp when I'm recording it, and then I feel like I upload it and it loses some of the quality. So that's good to know. I'm glad it looks okay.
no, they look great. They look great.
Good.
They always bring joy. How did you get into sewing? And I mean, I guess before as I said that out loud, I was like, wait, fashion design, that kind of lends itself to it. But I'll let you kind of explore the tale of how you moved over into, because right now you're working with Cotton Cuts, and you're an ambassador for Cotton Cut. Well, I should say Mr. Bones is an ambassador for Cotton Cuts.
Behind the scenes, I'm just the hands.
So kind of how did you end up on that journey, and what else? Because you do the Cotton Cuts quilts, but do you do other sewing as well?
I do. Well, I have a fashion background, so I took fashion design in college, and then I took costume studies for film and television. So I've studied fashion. I can draft a garment, like I can do the sketch, draft it, sew it, and just like completely from scratch. I don't like to do it very often, though. I actually kind of prefer doing the quilting. I kind of stumbled upon quilting when I moved in my house, because we kind of moved out of the city that I grew up in, and I'm like, okay, I need to find the nearest fabric store like ASAP. And I happened to find one, and it was a quilt shop, and I didn't even know that quilt shops existed. All I knew was pretty much like Fabricland, and in Canada, downtown Toronto, there's like an area, it's Queen and Spadina, and it's just like all fabric shops, and that's what I was used to. So I kind of discovered my first quilt shop there, and thought I'd sign up for a class, and yeah, just kind of went from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Again, it's always fun to hear how people end up on a quilting journey
Yeah.
and end up in different places. Did you, I've got to ask this question, because I did theater for a while. Did you ever end up in theater or TV production or film production?
Yes, actually. I worked, because I took costume studies for film and television, and I actually had a contact who is a costume designer for a lot of films that they do in Toronto and Hamilton. So I worked on some film sets for like 5 years. I worked on a couple sets, a couple of movies, and a couple of TV shows that were mainly shot in Hamilton and Toronto. So yeah,
Awesome.
that's fun. It's a lot of like hurry up and wait. It's like, get the clothes here, get them there, get them dirty, keep them clean, keep them dirty, get the blood on, leave the blood on, get the blood off. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it was a lot of fun. It was just really long hours.
Yeah,
And so yeah, I ended up just trying to find a regular kind of 9 to 5 job.
absolutely. Absolutely. Any names of things you want to drop?
Not really.
Okay.
They're kind of B movies. Like I did like a vampire movie with Jason Mewes.
Okay.
Yeah, and what else? I don't know. I've worked with a bunch of people, but yeah, they were kind of like B movies, but they were a lot of fun.
Hey, sometimes B movies are just as good
Yeah.
when you need something to, have on TV or
Yeah.
something.
It's just a lot of fun
It
to
is.
see the behind the scenes and watch them like blow up a car. Like it's pretty crazy. Or like watch the like squibs go off. And I
Absolutely.
remember it was funny. I got like a message from my friend who is like the costume designer, and it was on Facebook. And you know how like Facebook shows you like, oh, this time 7 years ago,
Yeah.
and she had written on my wall, oh hey Kim, we're gonna shoot some people tomorrow. Thought you might want to watch. Like, give me a call if you're interested. Just like, I should probably remove that from Facebook. But it really doesn't look good.
Oh yeah, how things have changed in the
Yeah.
past couple of years. But no, yeah, no,
Mhm.
that's that I yeah, behind the scenes is always way more fun. And if people knew what really went on behind the scenes in either theater or movies or TV shows, I think they would find things very hilarious.
Yeah.
And working in the theater, I remember specifically we did a show called Noises Off, which if you haven't heard of the show, it's basically like how do we put choreographed chaos is the way that the cast and crew put
Oh,
it.
cool.
And it was really funny every night to watch everything happen in this chaos. And then when something, thankfully with this show, when something would go wrong, nobody would know because it was just chaos anyways. But it was very interesting to see how the actors and actresses would react and try to fix or work on or correct what had just gone wrong or whatever. So yeah, yes, a world that is a lot of fun. So yeah, anyways, I'll digress on my theater days. I do miss them, but yeah, anyways. So where do you get your ideas for what Mr. Bones does? Obviously you're working with sewing, but you've done some other more fun things, and I'm trying to grab an example and I can't grab one at this moment, but he does more than just sew.
Yeah. Sometimes there's like some trends that are going around. So sometimes I can kind of apply those to something he's doing. Sometimes there's just some funny sounds like voiceovers that I can do with him. Other times I'll just be like listening to music and an idea pops into my head, like, oh, I could make him do this to that song or something. Or I see, even I'll just be like scrolling on Instagram and see somebody's project, and then I think like, oh, what if I do this with that instead? And just, yeah, can come from anywhere really.
Gotta love those trends, gotta
Yeah.
hop on those trends, right?
Weird sometimes.
Yeah, I scroll through TikTok every night and the trends are always very
Oh my
interesting
God.
to
Yeah.
see
You
what is
stumble
happening
across
there.
one, you're just like, oh, so this is the new thing. Okay. Like that rap right now, the like jiggle jiggle thing is, I don't know how I haven't gotten sick of it. It's just like so funny.
I don't. What always gets me is like as I'm scrolling through TikTok, one of the sounds that always kind of seems to be there no matter what is like I think it came from the soundbite came from The Office, and it's like that parkour one where it's
Oh
like
yes.
parkour.
Yes. I should do that one with him. Have him like jumping off a bunch of stuff.
Oh my gosh, you should jump off the sewing
Now I'm
machine.
gonna do that. I'm gonna tag you.
Hey, do it. I absolutely. It's always funny because like they put it to cats or something, and I'm like, yes, all of that.
Oh, it's so perfect with cats. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you sew
Mhm.
and you work with Mr. Bones a lot. What do you do when you're not sewing or crafting or working with Mr. Bones, I guess, or working in general?
Yeah. I actually really like to bake. So I bake like cakes and cupcakes and cookies, and I'll decorate cookies, and my daughter likes decorating them too. I also like nail art. I have like a ridiculous amount of nail art. I really got into like Simply Nailogical. I don't know if you've heard of her, but like a long time ago. And I was just like taking notes, like, okay, I need to get this, and I need to find out where she got that. Like I got everything, and I've always loved playing around with nail art.
Awesome. Okay, you bake, you
Mhm.
sew, you do nail art.
Yeah.
What don't you do at this point? It sounds like you do
Don't
fashion.
I don't math well, that's for sure. I'm not good at math.
Fair. That's fair.
Uh,
Same
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Same here. What is your nail art right now, by the way?
I just did like ombre glitter. I don't know if you can
Yeah.
see it.
That's awesome. I
I
love
was going for like a starry night sky kind of thing. I got some rhinestones in and I'm like, I need to put those on my nails.
it.
They were supposed to be, it was supposed to be like for fabric, and
Uh-huh.
I haven't actually used them. Like I have like a, it's a special, almost looks like a really thin curling iron that heats
Yeah,
up that like you put rhinestones on, and I've never used it before. So I ordered a bunch of rhinestones to play around with,
that's
putting
awesome.
some of those on. But then I was looking at them like, those are really tiny, tiny. Those would definitely fit on my nails. So some of them might make it to my nails. I don't know.
You have a nail account?
I do. Like there
Oh,
isn't really like a whole lot on it. I
yeah.
actually it's called textiled nails.
Oh,
So
okay.
I started matching my nails to fabric. So
Oh,
I did nail art that was that one collection by Tula Pink with all the like seahorses and everything, and it was
yeah.
actually reposted on her account. I like lost my mind. Yeah. But yeah, I've done it for a couple of different fabrics, just kind of like for fun. I haven't done it in a while, but yeah, it was something fun I was doing.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's that's pretty cool. That's cool that Tula retweeted or not retweeted.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, reposted it or whatever
Yeah.
you want to say.
Yeah.
Man, interesting. I'm gonna have to go check out that account now because I don't even know if I knew about that or not. I'll have to go
Yeah.
check it
I
out.
have uploaded for a while.
Yeah, that's it happens. These,
Mhm.
especially when you have multiple accounts, you just never know like what because I have I originally had an Instagram account just for me, and
Mhm.
then I created the Off Kilter Crafter account
Mhm.
and
Great name.
my huh?
It's a great name.
Oh,
I like it.
thanks. Thank you. And then I just posted everything on my off kilter account and I've stopped
Yeah.
posting on my other one and made
Yeah.
it private. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, it'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Same. Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
actually when I actually joined like TikTok, I started it as like a baking and cooking sort of thing. And then I was getting like some nasty trolls like just leaving comments, and I'm like, you know what? Like I just need a break from this. And I
Yeah,
went back to another account that I had started, and I was just thinking, you know what, like I'm sewing things every day. I'm like always working on something. Like maybe I'll just focus on that. And it kind of took off. I just put like, and I was like really unsure about like putting him in the video because I was like, oh, I don't know if people are gonna find this as cute as I do because like I'm weird. I like creepy things. I think they're cute. Like I don't know if people are gonna like this or not, and
yes,
apparently they did.
absolutely. I
Yeah,
love it. Do you like I think bats are like one of the cutest creatures ever.
they're just like flying puppies or like little foxes with wings. Like
Yes.
I remember going to like Animal Kingdom and like in Disney World on like a
Uh,
family trip, and they have these like massive fruit bats, and I was just like losing my mind because I'm like, I want one. Like it's like a fox. Like oh, they're
yep.
so cute.
Yeah, I actually on my Facebook page or on my Facebook account, I should say, I follow, I think it's actually an Australian like rehab
Yes,
place.
I feel like
Yeah.
I might follow the same one.
Yep.
Like she's always got like little baby bats. Like I don't know if
Yes.
it's the same one, and she's like nursing them and whatnot. I remember following.
Exactly. Exactly. And they got the little binky in their mouth and I'm just like,
Yes,
"Oh."
yes.
Yep. Yep.
So cute.
I love bats. I also I'm also kind of weird because people think that like opossums are so ugly and I'm just like I want to cuddle it.
Ew, we had a whole family of possums in my house. Not in my house, but like in my house growing up. Like they
Yeah.
were like my dad had this back fence, and we were like really close to a conservation area. And like every once in a while, you'd see like a mom and like all the babies going along the fence. You're just like, oh, you don't really want to get rid of them because they're really good at eating like grubs and all these nasty things you don't really want in your garden anyway. So it's
Yeah.
like let them do their thing. That's fine.
And they eat ticks too, which
Yes,
is,
yeah.
Lyme disease and all
And they
that
don't
kind of
actually carry diseases.
yeah.
I think they have, yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're
They're
super
awesome.
awesome. I'm so glad I have met somebody else who understands my like I'm like, oh,
Get
it's so
it.
cute.
It's really funny. My daughter, we went to a birthday party for her cousin, and they had one of those people who brought all those like lizards and everything. And it was funny. They had a tarantula, and she was just like, "Give it to me!" Like she just wanted to hold it so bad. Like we had to hold her back because we were really afraid. Like she was still little that she was gonna like crush it. And it was hilarious because like literally like the next week, her teacher messaged me saying like, oh, we had some baby chicks in the room, and Evelyn, really wasn't sure about those chicks, and I'm thinking, the kid who wanted to touch the tarantula on the weekend but didn't want anything to do with the little yellow fuzzy chicks. Okay, yep, that's my kid. Like, that makes sense.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, it's been a joy having you on, and I think it's time for a bit of rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite color?
Blue.
What is your favorite movie?
Oh gosh. I think Disney Sleeping Beauty is actually my favorite movie.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Favorite book?
Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice.
Oh, okay. Favorite song?
Oh gosh, I love music so much. It's so hard to pick one. Oh gosh. So hard to decide. I'll go for The Darkness, I Believe in a Thing Called Love. I've used that song so many times, but it's such a good song.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
Favorite place in the world?
Yeah, I'd probably say Disney World.
That's fair. That's fair.
The Haunted Mansion specifically.
Yes, absolutely.
I actually got engaged in front of the Haunted Mansion, and then we went back to Disney World for our honeymoon.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow, you got engaged in front of Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Which Haunted Mansion is weird because people end up Disney has to clean out Haunted Mansion because people will pour ashes of their loved ones in it, which is a little weird. But anyways, back to rapid questions. Favorite food?
Oh, pasta.
Ooh, yes, absolutely. Favorite dessert? Oh, sorry.
Oh, creme brulee.
Ooh, good one. Good one.
If it's on the menu, I'm ordering it. I don't care how full I am. We'll just make it work.
We'll just shove it in. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't. It's going in. It's going in.
Ooh, favorite toy.
Favorite toy. Oh, growing up. I had this Barbie, and she had these roller skates that it almost had a lighter component in it. And I heard later, actually, I didn't even know that they got recalled, but that was awesome. You would drag it along the floor, and it would spark, or sometimes I just sit there and flick it. I don't know why that just pops into my head as one of the greatest toys of the 80s and 90s.
Okay. Well, I've definitely learned that Kim is a pyromaniac. Cool, got it.
I am.
That's awesome. Do you go to Renfests as well? I'm curious.
You know what? I've never been to one. My
really?
aunt and uncle, I know. My aunt and uncle have been to some, and my parents actually went with them. I don't know where I was, why I couldn't go, but yeah, I just keep seeing more videos of them, and I'm just I really want to go to one of these. They look like a lot of fun.
They are a lot of fun. You should definitely. I don't know if I'm sure Canada has some.
I'm sure. I gotta ask. I know I have some friends that I think would definitely be into them. I just need to ask them where do I go?
Exactly. Yeah. Tell me where to go.
Tell me, I'll be there.
Kim, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time, and I know everyone is going to go check out your Instagram. One more time for us, what's that Instagram account?
It's called Mr. Bones Sews.
Excellent. And do you have any other place that you want people to check out?
You can check out my TikTok. It's the same, Mr. Bones Sews. There's also a Facebook page, Mr. Bones Sews. I have a YouTube, but it's mostly just kind of reposting from the other ones. Again, it's just Mr. Bones Sews.
Excellent. Thank you, Kim. And thank you, Mr. Bones, for joining me today. And thank you for taking the time to watch today's interview. And we will see you next time. And remember, guys, normal's just a setting on the dryer. Bye, Kim.